Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about Honda's test in Misano. Now, it's very clear that Honda are taking this very seriously, what is happening in 2022, to ensure that it doesn't happen in 2023, and they had nearly every possible engineer over from Japan. But at the end of this video, I'm going to show you, if they don't get this right, what could happen when Mark's contract runs out with Honda. We'll first start off with, mainly it was Mark, Nakagami and Bradl doing all the testing. Pole didn't really test too much. Nakagami started it all off with testing a new air intake. This was actually brand new, and it's very different from the others. When Mark hit the track, Mark came out first just on the standard 22 bike, and he moved off then into testing different aerodynamic front wings mainly first. So the front wing that they tried is actually very Aprilia-esque. Looks like a kind of a sad face or a mustache or something like that on the front of the bike, which I am sure no doubt did increase downforce on the front compared to what they were running. Mark then moved on to testing the downward scoops, just like on the Ducati, and finally the front part of the aerodynamics, and lastly that he tested was more like the hammerhead sides of the fairing, just like Aprilia on for the ground effect. Now, they didn't keep them on continuously, which I thought they may do. Now, that could have been because Mark didn't do a lot of testing. He did do a bit, but not a lot, let's just say. But again, it was brilliant to see that Honda were definitely re-evaluating what is going on. It wasn't just limited to front aerodynamics, you know, they were also looking at chassis setup, and the big talking point was Bradl and Mark did try the aluminium swing air from Calyx. Haven't had any reports on what it is, but it's definitely a massive step for HRC to be going outside their own engineering team to get help. But that wasn't the only thing on the back of the bike that they were working on, and they were working on a much reduced rear end of the bike. I'm going to call it again a little bit like the Aprilia rear end, you know, just trying to create a low pressure or reduce the drag towards the back of the bike, which I thought was very interesting. You know, not a lot of people caught it, but you'll see it. You can see it here clearly in the picture. There is a big difference between the rear end of the bike. Not surprised that we didn't see a complete prototype for 2023 from Honda. You have to remember, these guys are so far lost that, you know, they actually don't know what is the direction to go. So it was, in my view, brilliant to see them testing multiple parts in multiple different ways to try and get an idea aerodynamically, chassis wise, what is the best way and route to go. They also did have last year's bike there as well, and I thought that was a brilliant way to do it, that you have a direct correspondence from 21 to 22 to potentially a 23 bike feeling. Of course, as I mentioned, this is absolutely vital for Honda to get right and get the bike back to a race winning bike as soon as possible. Marc Marquez is out of contract in the next 2 years. You know, you can very much so see that he's stamped his authority coming back into the team at this test, but if he doesn't get a bike that's capable of winning championships or races, then I have no doubt that this could possibly happen. But I'd love to know your thoughts on what you think of Honda's test. Definitely leave them in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. I just want to take a minute to also thank you for watching my videos and the support that you've shown so far. If you haven't subscribed already and you would like to subscribe, it would mean an awful lot to me if you did. I'm starting this channel realistically so that we can all enjoy MotoGP together, with the aim of streaming a live video when the GP races are on.